Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ola. I'm a GP and training program director in Coventry. Now, one of the biggest problems facing the IMG in general practice, specialty training, and indeed all sort of specialty trainings is receiving feedback. Now, when you come through literature, you see a lot of scholarly works, a lot of models that have been developed to help us know how to give feedbacks. And I'm going to make a video on that in terms of giving feedback. But one area where there is a lot of shortcomings in terms of scholarly work is receiving feedback. All over the country, I have spoken with colleagues who have gotten into trouble either with their relationship with friends, with colleagues, and with their supervisor because of the lack of this skill. Therefore, it has become important for me to address this issue once and for all. Over the years in my own career, I have developed this 7-point system that I have used with good success to receive feedback. I've also been able to show many this system who have also successfully used it. So I'm confident that if written down, if assimilated, you also can use this system to receive feedback, such that things like, oh, she can't receive feedback, oh, she's defensive, can never be said about you, because it is an art that just needs to be learned. Number one is silence. Silence is something we misunderstand a lot. Many times we understand silence to mean just being quiet. That's not what silence is. Silence is, yes, it's being quiet, but why am I quiet? I'm quiet because I want to understand exactly what is this person saying. I'm not just silent to what they are saying. I'm silent to what they are not saying. What is their face expressing? I'm looking at that. What are the other non-verbal cues they are giving, even as they tell me about that feedback they are giving me? The thing about silence is that I'm not being silent in order to be able to respond. That seems to be the challenge with many of us. My silence is not to respond, but rather it is to understand exactly where is this person coming from? What is the nature of this feedback they are trying to give me, such that I can know how to get the best of this feedback. Second point, which is equally important, is active listening and prompt. Again, when we mean active listening, many times what we think about is just demonstrating that we are listening, giving prompt. Oh yes, yeah, I see, yeah, things like that. But it's much more than that. As you're actively listening, you are also demonstrating your own non-verbal cues as well. And the whole point of active listening is not for you alone. I mean, it's important for you to that you're listening, but you're also sending the message to the person giving the feedback that indeed you're actively listening. And that's why you're prompting them. And when they get to start to certain points, through your prompts, you're encouraging them to proceed. You're inviting them to even give further feedback, and you're sending clearly the signal to them that I really want to listen to you. I'm interested in what you're saying. I'm taking you very seriously, and I'm listening. So it is maintaining high contact. It is maintaining high contact. It is being there, if possible, with your pen, if possible with your paper. If not, it is you showing that yes, I really want to listen. So that's what active listening and gestures is. 3 point is clarification. Now that they've told you everything they want to tell you in terms of the feedback, you will then clarify. Oh, just to be certain I understand exactly what you're saying. You said this. Did you mean this? Or what exactly did you mean? What you're saying is not you arguing. No, it is you clarifying from whoever has given you that feedback, so that you fully understand exactly the context. You fully understand where they're coming from and what they are saying. Areas where you do not understand, you make sure you're on the same page by clarifying. Now, the challenge with clarification is how it is said can be important. Many of us can have this almost aggressive way of going about it. Things like, oh, for my own learning, I just wanted to be sure, can go a long way in conveying to whoever is giving the feedback that, look, this doctor is not trying to argue, this doctor is not trying to be defensive, they simply want to clarify. Now, what does clarification bring? It brings understanding. It brings understanding on your own path of, okay, this is what this person is saying. And that's the fourth point, understanding. Because when you understand exactly what they are saying, there can be no mistake. Many times when colleagues reach out to me, one of the things is that the person who has given them the feedback is saying one thing, but what they are taking away from the feedback is something completely different, sometimes completely unrelated. And that is because of failure to clarify and failure to fully understand exactly what the feedback is all about. The fifth point, which is very important, which is an area where many of us really struggle, is acknowledgement. When I receive a feedback, it's not just enough for me to receive the feedback. It's not just enough for me to see that, oh, this is indeed an area of improvement. I must acknowledge it. What acknowledgement does is that it passes the clear message to the person who's giving the feedback that I understand what they are talking about, and that I accept what they are talking about, and that I want to take steps really to rectify what they are talking about. I want to let them know that I know what they are talking about. Many times what we find ourselves doing without acknowledging is that we've received the feedback. We genuinely want to make changes to those feedback, but we have not passed the message, such that the person who has given the feedback goes away thinking, oh, this is a defensive doctor, oh, this doctor does not want to accept feedback, they cannot be talked to. And that is an area where we struggle. So how to acknowledge is, okay, from everything you're saying, thanks for that. First, you're saying thank you. Oh, thanks for your feedback. Thanks for the feedback. And you're saying, oh, I understand what you're trying to say is this and this. And that it's something I agree with, and it's something I'm going to look into. That will be you acknowledging the feedback. The next thing is planning. Having acknowledged the feedback, the next thing is, what are we going to do about it? And one of the best ways to do that is to invite the person who has given the feedback to take the lead in the planning. Oh, you've told me about my communication. Thankfully, you've taken time to tell me about that. What do you think I can do about it? Oftentimes, the person who's giving the feedback, be it your supervisor, be it your training program director, they already have plans in mind in terms of how to solve that problem. They already have plans in mind in terms of those changes they want to see. So one of the things that happen when you invite them in is that you're saying, now that we're on the same page, now that I understand what this feedback is about, now that I have acknowledged it, but how are we going to solve it? And you'll be surprised how many things then come out of it. And then you can then suggest plans as well. Oh, I know you've mentioned about my communication. You've mentioned that I should speak a bit slowly. You've mentioned I should watch British movies and news. But in addition, I'm thinking perhaps when I find myself in discussion groups, I should find this discussion groups that contain a wide number of people, including British graduates and non-British graduates. I then throw it back to them. Is this something that you think will help? So what I'm saying is that I'm trying to collaborate with whoever has given me that feedback to make sure that the plans we are putting in place are plans that will indeed work. And that is the 6th point that is very important. The 7th point that is also very important after that feedback is, at some point in a couple of weeks, in a couple of months, I check up on that. Dr. XYZ, you remember that feedback you gave me 2 months ago, and the plans we agreed to put in place. With what you've seen so far, what are your thoughts? What you're saying is that you are submitting yourself. You want someone to monitor your progress. You want them to be the judge of the feedback they have suggested. So you're saying, look, how have I done? How have I done? And what that does is that it shows the sincerity that you indeed want to improve. Now, there are things that are just so difficult to improve that don't turn around like that, because many of these things are down to habits we formed after that we formed over many years. But the fact that that willingness is there, demonstrable, shows that we indeed want that feedback. And once we check up, we can then get a progress report on how we are doing, and if further plans then need making after that, if we are not making good progress, then further plans can be made. So those are my 7-point system for receiving feedback. For those of you who have asked me over and over again, Ola, how do you receive feedback? That's how I receive my feedback. So number 1 is silence. Number 2 is active listening and gestures. Number 3 is clarification. 4 is understanding. 5 is acknowledgement, very important. 6 is to make plans. And 7 is to check up. I hope you've liked that video. If you have, please do well to subscribe so you encourage me to do more. Share with your friends, and I will see you in my next video.